One last opportunity to keep the finals dream alive for the Central Coast Mariners. Look, obviously, it's incredibly unlikely that Mariners will be playing finals football this season with just a few games remaining. But this is it this weekend. If Mariners fail to lose and if other results don't go our way, Mariners could mathematically be out of the equation with a defeat here against Melbourne City. We know it's going to be a tough test. Melbourne City heading into this weekend. They're in third place, 11 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses. Mariners, 10th place, 5 wins, 10 draws, 7 losses, 25 points. Currently 8 points behind Adelaide United. So a big weekend coming up for the Central Coast Mariners. And look, we shouldn't be thinking about finals, obviously. We just want to finish this season on a positive note. We'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think of Mariners' chances heading into this round 25 matchup? Do Mariners stand a chance of grabbing a result? We know we have really, poor form when it comes to playing games away in Melbourne. Yes, we did have some decent results there last year, but obviously we were there just a few weeks ago against Melbourne Victory and had a really, really poor performance. Had only one shot in that game, lost 3-0 to Melbourne Victory. So hopefully we turn things around in this game. And I think in the last couple of weeks we've seen Mariners turn things around a little bit. Obviously the 2-2 draw against Auckland, and then last week the win at home against Perth Glory. So maybe there is a bit of hope that Mariners can finish the season on a positive note indeed. First of all, let's take a look at Melbourne City and how they've been tracking in recent weeks. They've been up and down throughout most of the season, but they have been pretty strong overall, you've got to say. Obviously, they've struggled with injuries throughout this campaign, and they have done really well despite those injuries. And now they've got nearly a full-strength squad, still without the likes of Matt Leckie and Andrew Naboot, but still a fantastic team that they do have here. This formation comes from Google. Doesn't quite show it accurately, but it is somewhat of a 4-2-2-2 when they're out of formation. You do see it morph into sort of a 4-3-3 as well for Melbourne City. Defensively, they've been so strong this season. One of the best teams at the back. Patrick Beach, who was formerly on the books of Central Coast Mariners a few years back. Ferreira and Cyprian have been that centre-back partnership for the last few rounds. Kai Truman can obviously play in defence as well, as is Baich and Atkinson. You've got two Socceroos fullbacks there. And then the exciting attacking players they have as well. Obviously, we know about Marco Tilio, Socceroo, Andreas Kuhn, a very lively midfield player. Young striker Max Caputo, one of the best young strikers in the league, as well as Mehmeti as well. Lopane's back from injury. So they've got depth and strength all over the park. And if Mariners are going to get a result in this game, we're going to have to be at our best. There's no question about that. Their last game here, that 3-2 win against Sydney FC. A couple of disappointing defensive sort of lapses of concentration to concede a couple of goals in that game for Melbourne City, but overall they were good. They did manage more shots away to Sydney FC. They do usually have a lot of possession, but in this game they did have less than Sydney FC. But I would expect in this game, Melbourne City being the home team, to really dominate the ball. Mariners are going to have to do a lot of work off the ball and, again, utilise the counter-attack, which is something that we did really, really well against Auckland a few weeks ago. I think we should be looking at that game against Auckland FC, and there's no reason why we can't do a similar thing where, what we've seen from Mariners in the last, few games now is playing this back five pretty much, the entirety of the match. We usually see the formation change for Mariners when we're out of possession, going to that 4-4-2, and then that 3 at the back when we are in possession. But now, out of possession is basically a back five. You've got Docker and Moragas who have been playing those wing-back positions, tucking back, and real sense of just defensive solidity now, I think, for Central Coast Mariners. And I think that'll help us in this game as well, just to really nullify Melbourne City and their dangerous attacking players dropping into that back five. And then Fejao, Theoharis, I'd expect those guys to start once again in this game, providing that threat on the counter-attack with their pace. Alukuwal always able to finish off an opportunity if he gets it. So Mariners can just stay defensively disciplined, like I think we did for the most part against Perth Glory, and really look to utilise that counter-attack. Big games coming up for Fejao and Theoharis. As soon as we get the ball, we have to be effective going forward. We have to be accurate with our passes and just cut straight through them if we're going to get a result from this game, as mentioned. In terms of changes for the lineup that we could see for Central Coast Mariners. I don't think we'll see many changes for the team news this week. Mariners have announced that DeLima and Brantman are back in the mix for selection. Obviously, Hayname's unavailable. He's over with the under-17s for the Asian Cup, the under-17 Asian Cup. So we expect Steele and McCalmont to start in midfield again. I thought McCalmont was pretty good against Perth Glory. Really nice assist for that first goal for Kual. And Thea Harris, again, great to see him get on the score sheet. And, he's a Melbourne boy. He loves playing down in Melbourne, and hopefully we see him get on the score sheet once again. But yeah, I don't think we'll see many changes, man. It should be a pretty consistent lineup for Central Coast Mariners. It's good to see a little bit of consistency just in the last few games. The same team, being deployed, which, we haven't had too much this season. A lot of weeks we've seen a lot of changes, but hopefully with a bit of consistency in the lineup for these final few games, we see, some positive results. And that's the thing that we want to see as well. Not only do we want to, play in a positive way and score some goals, we want to get some positive results to finish off this season. It's worth mentioning that we do want to avoid those bottom 4 spots on the ladder, because that means you have to, head up to Darwin. I don't know if it's been confirmed that the games will be played in Darwin, but obviously the bottom 4 teams feature in the Australia Cup playoffs. Last few years, those matches have been played in Darwin really early on in pre-season. So we want to qualify straight into the Australia Cup and avoid those bottom 4 spots. And obviously as well, for Mariners fans, we want to deny Newcastle Jets a glimmer of hope of making finals this season. So to jump above them would be nice as well, to finish above Newcastle Jets, of course, as it always is. But look, we have to go into this game without fear. We know Melbourne City is a top team. But we have had some good results against them in recent times. Obviously, we should not forget the 2023 Grand Final, the Big 6-1 win, of course. But we need to go into this game with no fear, play with confidence. There's been some positive signs in our last few games. And as mentioned, if we stay defensively disciplined, utilise the counter-attack, Mariners are capable of winning this game and maybe just keeping the finals dream alive. Again, we're not getting carried away. We're not going to talk about finals, but it is still on the cards for Central Coast Mariners, mathematically at least. Let me know, guys, what you think of this game, Mariners' chances heading into this matchup against Melbourne City, and hit like to support the channel. Subscribe for more Mariners content right here on the channel. My name's Lockie, and I'll see you in the next one.